My name is Alex Fox. I'm a partner at Painters Manchester Cooper. This is our third of a series of videos looking at how best to return to work in this pandemic crisis. I'll be looking at three issues in the next 3 to 4 minutes. One, about how to reduce the risk of trading whilst insolvent and what toolkits is available to directors. Two, the old adage, I need the money, can I pay a dividend during this crisis? And three, can the new emergency COVID legislation help you as a director trade through? So one, what is the do's and don'ts as a director during this crisis? It is well known that if you're trading whilst insolvent, the duties of the directors shift from those of looking out for the shareholders to those of the creditors. Insolvency is tested by one of two methods. One is the cash flow test. In other words, can you pay your debts as they fall due? Or a balance sheet test. Are your net assets less than your net liabilities? If this is triggered, then issues such as vulnerable transactions and risks of personal insolvency are triggered. So therefore, a director must be very careful to avoid wrongful trading, fraudulent trading, making a preference, transactions at an undervalue, misfeasance, the whole panoply of claims that could be levied at a director who makes the wrong decision. So how do you avoid that? Well, some practical steps. One, get legal and accountancy advice early. Two, get a real understanding of the company's finances in real time. Cash is king. Three, write down and adhere to a clear strategy to trade through this crisis. Four, have regular board minutes taken of meetings and don't resign. Now's the time to step up and be a director. Five, communicate effectively with all stakeholders. And what I mean by that is talk to the employees, the suppliers, the customers, to manage cash, to manage your key staff, to make getting back to work the smoothest process as possible. And six, work out what is yours and what is not. Have a look at the charge documentation. Work out who can claim back title on goods, to work out what tools are available to you. And on the second knotty question, can you pay a dividend? Well, you can pay a dividend if you have sufficient distributable reserves. And the decision about paying a dividend is both on the awarding of a dividend and the payment itself. Now, at the present moment, it would be probably exceptional circumstances for a company to pay out a dividend. If you look at the recent press, I think it's only Tesco that really stood out of paying out dividends. Some of the big FTSE 100, 250, even 350 companies have decided that dividends are a no-no and have faced investor backlash. We're not saying never. We're simply saying consider deferring it. And if you need to pay the dividend, and some really good reasons to pay dividends, such as for pension funds, employees, you simply need the cash in order to invest elsewhere, then get proper advice on this. Because it's not that you can't pay it, it is that you've got to be able to justify it. Because later on, that decision will be scrutinised. I'm afraid after any boom time coming into recession, these sort of decisions by directors are very carefully scrutinised. If you want to avoid litigation and you want to ensure that you've got directors' insurance coverage in place to protect you against risks, make sure you get advice on this knotty decision. And then thirdly and finally, the new Corporate Insolvency Governance Bill. And a whole raft of measures have been announced this week to help businesses trade through. For example, we've got a new company moratorium in place, which basically expands the options of freezing the situation for the company to allow a company to trade through without risk of litigation. Now, it doesn't mean that during the moratorium, firstly, that it's not been monitored by a responsible court-appointed insolvency practitioner, or that key suppliers will not get paid, or employees, or landlords. However, it will be a welcome respite for directors as they try and work out how to trade through this situation. Other measures include key suppliers not being able to withhold supply during this period. Again, they need to be paid. There are obviously exceptions to all of these, and on some of the breaches by directors, if there's, for example, dishonesty, then it could attract criminal sanctions. There's a new restructuring plan process in place, suspension of wrongful trading. That's not new, but it's been codified and expanded in statute. And the ability to present and make winding up petitions for COVID-related issues has been suspended, or in some cases voided. And finally, there are some lifting restrictions relating to the holding of AGMs and also the relaxation of Companies House filing requirements and fines. In short, a lot more support from government, a lot more breathing space for business, but do be careful in connection with the insolvency risks. Do get advice at an early stage, and do communicate with your key stakeholders at all time and jot down why decisions were made and why. Have a good week, enjoy the bank holiday weekend, and look forward to speaking. If you've got any queries that you'd like to have some advice on, do have a look at our website for the COVID-19 Hub. There are weekly Q&As which some of our clients have been raising, which you might find helpful, and there's also articles and resources you could use to trade through this crisis effectively. Have a good day.